Hi, friends. When we were last together, we were discussing different kinds of inventions that were created by young people who weren't much older than yourselves. One of the inventions that we were looking at more closely was the invention of the crayon holder by 11-year-old Cassidy Goldstein. After looking at Cassidy's blueprint and discussing how detailed and specific it is, we then got to see her final project of the crayon holder. In the next slide, what you're going to do is take a look at Cassidy's final design and identify at least 3 properties of that crayon holder. Remember, when we were together yesterday, we discussed what a property is. We said that the property of an object is like a trait or a characteristic of that object. And when we discussed that, we used my water bottle as an example. So we were discussing the properties of my water bottle and said that some of these properties were that my water bottle is purple, it's see-through, it's round, it's tall, and it is able to contain water. We also mentioned that my water bottle was made from plastic and is smooth. These are all really important properties or traits or characteristics associated with my water bottle. So first, you're going to identify several properties of Cassidy's final project, the crayon holder. Then click on to the next slide for more direction. Identify 3 properties of Cassidy's crayon holder. Remember, properties are traits or characteristics that we can use our 5 senses to describe. Now that we have a handle on the idea of properties when discussing objects, what we're going to do is we're going to focus on 2 properties in particular. The first property that we are going to be discussing today is the property color. Color is the way something looks when we use our eyes to see it. Another property that we'll be discussing today is the property texture. Texture is the way something feels when we touch it with our skin. It might feel smooth, soft, bumpy, scratchy, or even rough. What we're going to do is we are going to apply these 2 properties of color and texture to an item that I am going to show you on the next page. The items that you are going to be investigating today are monster trucks. So on the next page, you will see this monster truck and this monster truck. Your assignment is to pick one. So you're either going to choose this monster truck or this monster truck. And you are going to draw a picture of the monster truck as closely resembling the real deal as possible. So if I'm drawing this monster truck, I want to draw it as closely to what it looks like in real life. So would I want to draw flames coming out of the back of my monster truck? Definitely not. Would I want to color this monster truck the color purple? Definitely not. Would I want to make my monster truck a stretch limo? Probably not, because I'm not seeing any of those things on this actual truck. You're going to draw a picture of what you see and try to highlight as many details of the truck that you select as possible. Then you're going to use words to describe the way the monster truck looks. And I know this part might be a little bit tricky because we can't actually touch the monster trucks, but you're going to use words to describe how you imagine the monster truck might feel. Further directions will be on the next page. On the next 2 pages, you will notice that you have 4 images of the same truck. In the top left corner is an overhead view of that truck. Next to that image is the side view of the monster truck. On the bottom 2 images, you see the front view and the rear view of the truck. It's the same for your second image. You have the overhead view, the side view, the front view, and the rear view of the truck. As a reminder, you are picking only one truck to discuss. The truck that you are not discussing, you can ignore. Once you have selected the truck that you would like to describe, either the first one or the second one, remember, you're just picking one, you have 2 options. The first option is that you can use a paper and pencil to draw in as much detail as possible an image of the truck that you've selected. You want to include all features of the truck that you possibly can. Underneath that image of the truck, you are going to use words to describe the way that truck looks and the way you imagine that truck might feel if you were to touch it with your skin. I realize that second task is a little bit tricky, so just try your best. If you do not have access to a paper and pencil at home, the slide after this one will have a worksheet that you can complete directly onto your Seesaw page. But if you do have access to a paper and pencil at home, write out your response to this activity on that paper and pencil so that you can add the details of your truck much more easily. When you have finished that assignment on paper and pencil, you can take a picture of it and upload it onto Seesaw. If you have access to paper and a pencil at home, do not use the template on the next page. Instead, draw your truck on paper and post the image on this slide. Remember, you should be adding as much detail as possible. So you do not want to do a rush job when completing this assignment. You want to take your time so that your monster truck looks as close to the real life truck pictures you were shown as possible. This page is for friends who do not have access to paper and a pencil at home. This is where you will draw a sketch of your monster truck using as much detail as possible. So if you take a look right now, I'm doing kind of a rush job at this drawing. I want to take my time. So this is something that should take more than 5 seconds or even 5 minutes to complete. You are going to sketch your monster truck in the box, and then below On the lines right here, you are going to use words to describe the color and texture of the monster truck you selected. You can post those words on the lines below the drawing. Remember, if you have any questions, you should sign on to the Zoom that is attached to your Seesaw assignment.